Guys, it's Dean at Barrow Buddies again. This week we're looking at questions that you've given me over the last week. Got quite a few to get through, just basically things and problems you're having, and we're going to try and sort out. So let's get started. We've got Steve from Tiptree asks, I have a Mark 6 power porter and it only goes in reverse. Can you help? Yeah, I'm sure we can have a look at that for you, Steve. What you got to do is go to your main cylinder part of your motor first. You know, the round bit opposite the battery. You've got a rubber grommet and you'll see an orange wire going in one side, a black the other. Pull the rubber grommet back, but don't be too vigorous because you can tear them. So pull the grommet back carefully. Check your spade connectors because they just push on and pull off. So your orange one, check it, give it a little wiggle. You can always pull it off. If it feels loose, just when it's off, give it a tiny crimp with a pair of pliers, not too mad, a little crimp, push it back on, that'll make it nice and tight. Same reverse on the black one, the other end, check it, make sure it's tight, put the rubber grommet back on. Go back to your little plugs that have the little white arrows on, check on them that everything is intact, there's nothing broken, there's no water ingress getting in. There's no dirt or grit in there. You've got no snapped pins. You know, just give it the basic. Make sure it's pushing together and it's all clicking up nicely. You also, because you've got a Mark 6, you may have a break at the handle. From that age, some may have the little plug at the handle and at the wheel. Some may just have one running right the way through. So whichever case yours is, if it's at the handle, obviously check, do the same thing with that plug. If you find that all your connectors are fine, then I'm pretty sure, 95% sure, that you've got a problem in your 24 volt Pro Drive top box, which is a sealed unit, and where yours quite old now, probably 3/4 years old, you would need to purchase a new one. I do not sell any products whatsoever. I only service and repair. So what you'd need to do is go to Cart Porter Calder, and you need to ask for the 24 volt Pro Drive talk box, but you've got to make sure that you get the right plug. I know for a fact that yours, if it's a Mark 6 like you said it is, you will need the old style plug. I'm going to put pictures on here in a minute after this question that you can look at and you can work out what style plug you have on your Barrow. I know we know your one, Steve, because it's a Mark 6, will be the old style, but if you've got a Barrow around the say 2.5 years old, it did vary and change in that time frame. So look at the picture and find out exactly what plug. I mean, the insides are exactly the same. The only difference is that little plug with the white arrows on. They're slightly different. So look at the pictures, determine what one is yours for future customers. Ring up the guys at Cart Porter Calder. They'll sort you out with a new box. When you've got that box, I mean, if they're not doing a fitting service, by all means come back to me. I will fit any of the boxes you've purchased from Cart Porter, and they'll do it free of charge if you were to have the full service with me. So I hope that answered your question, Steve from Tiptree. You get that all done and I'm sure you get back sorted. Right, on to the next one. We have Ross from Ipswich. She asks, I have a puncher in my Extreme 24 volt power porter. It looks a bit complex, and could I bring it down to you and have my puncher sorted? Yes, Ross, of course you can. I mean, I'll unbox it for you, take it all apart. We get your inner tube out, obviously check inside the tyre, make sure there's no sharp objects still in there. Put a new tube in, get it all back up, blown up, box it all back up for you, and get you sorted. Yeah, just bring it down, mate. Give me a call, 07808 048 513. Give me a bell. My name's Dean, if you don't know. Get it sorted, bring it down, and we'll get it all done for you. Right, I've got Mick from Clacton. Asks, can I get my front wheel sorted on my big boy, as it drives me insane and keeps veering left? Yes, Mick, of course you can. you're not that far away from us Clacton, so have a drive down to Braintree, down to my workshop. I'll put your frame on a special jig, get it all lined up for you, get you running nice and straight again, so you can get back out there. I do that, that's quite cheap for that. I do, because it's a standard barrow, it's not a power porter barrow, I could do it for about £30. Obviously, if you wanted the full service with the wheel alignment, you'd be looking at about 60. So no worries there, Mick. Come down, get it sorted. Right, I've got John from Kent. Do you do wheel alignment for any barrows, not just cart porter? As I have a Tracker X-Trail. Yes, John, if your barrow, there's loads out there on the market, has got the little spigots welded on your frame that come off. They're only about 3-4 inches. And you've got the wheel that slides on, you've got your 2 thumb screws that you lock off, just push on. We can align any barrow that works in that system, because they're all pretty much the same width, and I can adjust my jig to fix them if they're a bit wider or narrower. So yeah, I mean, there's loads of barrows out there. You've got the Nash one, the Tracker, obviously Cart Porter, Fox, Carp Zone, etc, etc. They all can veer at time to time when, you know, you have the accident, maybe fell off the van with it with a lot of weight on, bent the spigots. So yeah, bring them down, mate. We can do any of them, get them sorted, any make or model, and get you sorted, mate. David from Southampton. I have a standard big boy. Can you sell me a 24 volt power kit and fit it? Sorry, Dave, I don't sell any products. As I've said before, I only service and repair. What you need to do is go down to Cart Porter Calder and tell them what model you got, and I'm sure they'll sell you a kit and get you sorted, mate. And as for regards to fitting, I'm not here to rip anyone off, and unless you're disabled or you're very arthritic or whatever, I think you could personally fit it yourself. I mean, a kit consists of your hand control, which is literally a couple of Allen key bolts you just put on the hand grip, just put it up tight against that, run a few cable ties down. You've got your centre cable, which you just thread all along the frame, do it to the best how you need it, cable tied out. And as for that, your wheel unit is all made up already, pre in the box with your battery charger, etc. Literally slide your wheel unit on, do up the thumb screws, connect your plugs together, and away you go. So, you know, I think as for fitting, you could probably fit it yourself. I'll go and see the guys down at Cart Porter Calder. Nice there, guys. They'll sort you out, get you the kit you need, and get you out there, mate. Who we got next? We've got Eric from Manchester. I have a Mark 6 power porter, and my back leg has snapped. It's on the bar that goes across the 2 arms. Can you fix, as I can't get one anywhere? Right, Eric, yes we can. Because you're in Manchester, and I wouldn't advise you to drive down, that's a long old drive just for a snapback leg. Because that's a small item, you just give me a bell, and you can post it to me, and obviously I'd give you a price, and we could get it welded back up, sprayed back up, all strengthened, and get it back out to you in the post, mate. So I hope that's answered your question. Right, we've got Trevor from Colchester. I have an old style power porter. I think it's a Mark 5 or a Mark 6. The front wheel keeps coming loose. Can you sort this out for me? Yes, Trevor, we can. It's not a problem. I mean, bring it down. You're only in Colchester, so you're not that far away. Pop down to our workshop in Braintree. Obviously, arrange an appointment. We can get that all sorted for you, and what we do is we look at the spigots. Sometimes, obviously, wheels that fall off, you keep tightening up the thumb screws. It keeps bending that little spigot spill, so it's making it like convex, concave, whatever you call it. And sometimes it even pierces through the steel where you've done the knob up so tight. I mean, we can strengthen them, obviously put a sleeve inside if they need it. And then we'd put your wheel on, while it's on, we'd obviously drill through with the right size bolt, because you don't want to drill these holes too big, because you can weaken the frame and do real damage. I mean, obviously me being the ex-Cart Porter engineer, I've been doing this for like 15 years, and we know it's a proven way of doing it, and it's all safe, and it really does help your barrow. So you bring it down. I'll put 2 quick release bolts in, one either side, so if you need to get your wheel off, if you've got a small cart, you still can. Just a matter of these quick release bolts. Put them in, take them off. I mean, when they're in, your wheel is never ever going to go anywhere. It can't come off, it's impossible. The only way it's going to come off is if your frame snapped or something like that. So I hope that answered your question, Trevor. You're all welcome to come down anytime, mate. Just give me a bell. Cheers. Right, we have Carlos from London. I have a Fat Boy Mark II and my screw knobs is seized solid. Can this be fixed? And on my handles, I also have the bar that strengthens them is splitting on the seam near the screw. Right, on regards to your thumb screw, Carlos, yes, we can sort that out. If it's seized up, we can unseize it, tap out the thread, make it all nice and good again so it moves really freely. And on regards to your handles, the bar that strengthens it, I'm surmising you've got your 2 handles with your crossbar, what you put in, and you've got your extra 2 thumb screws up there. I'm imagining it's the seam on that. I mean, guys, I'd like pictures in the future. If you could, it would help out dramatically and could help us get the problem sorted a bit quicker. But no, Carlos, we can weld up that, spray it back up, sort that problem out, get you back going. Not a problem. Just pop down to us and we can get that sorted. Right, we've got Glenn from the Isle of Sheppey. Hi, Glenn. I've got an old Barrow. Don't know what make or model. It's a bit of all sorts. I bought it second hand a few years ago, but it has a tri-porter wheel kit on the back, which when I set the height and I put all my gear on, it slides back down even when the knob is tight, and it's wearing a hole in my bag. I'm on my second bag. Can you fix? Yes, we can, Glenn. Just come down to us in Braintree, Company Workshop, arrange an appointment. Then we'll get your barrow to the height that you want it. When you're satisfied with what height you've got, I can run a bolt through it either side with a nice nylon locking nut on it. Obviously the right thickness so it don't weaken it or do any damage. And then after that, mate, you can jump on the thing because they're never going to slide down again. So bring it down, Glenn, and we'll get it sorted for you, mate. Question for this week. We've got Lewis from Devon. I have a Mark 7 power porter which when I turn on the light flashes red. Do you know why? Question mark. I would get your battery tested, Lewis, would be my first port of call. Flashing red is normally a sign that you've got no battery or it's dead. Obviously you've charged it up, so get your battery tested. You're in Devon. I do a free test because it literally takes about 20 seconds, but obviously you're not going to drive down from Devon unless you're insane to test the battery. So go to your local electrical shop or car spares shop. Get them to test it. They will have a digital multimeter where they can put on it or test the volts. Get them to test the batteries individually because there's 2 batteries on there which are bridged. 2 12 volts make the 24. So test each individual battery, live and positive. Well, get him to test it, and I'm sure he'll tell you whether the battery's got any more life in it or it's knackered. Other than that, checking all your connections and going over different bits and bobs like I've said in previous comments. If all else fails, even if you've got a friend that's got a power porter and you can just borrow his battery for 5 minutes to test it as like a process of elimination. If all that fails and you know you're still getting the problem, then you may have to look at that 24 volt Pro talk box because there may be a problem in that. It's very. I would just test your batteries first, mate. Because more than likely you've probably got either left or rights down. I mean, if the reading's coming over 12 on each battery, then your battery should be fine. Anything below 12, even like late 11s. Just get that side battery replaced, go down to cart porter, order the battery, get it replaced, charge her up, you know, give it a go. It could be the charger, very unlikely, but a small percentage it could be. But then if that's the case, by borrowing your mate's one, that's going to probably tell you, you know, whether it's that or not anyway once you've tested the battery. So I hope that helps, Lewis, and everyone who's out there listening, please like, subscribe and share. Join Barrow Buddies on Facebook in the groups. Just do what I said, like, subscribe and share, and you get a lifetime 10% discount. So you might as well do it. Watch a YouTube video, get that 10% discount, because we all want to save a few bob. And if you've got any more questions whatsoever, please message me, ring me. I've even got a box on the Barrow Buddies site, just where you can leave your comments and I can answer them online. I mean, most of you have been sending me messages anyway, but you can do it that way, whatever's best for you. Remember, hit that like, share, subscribe, 10% discount. And if you've got any problems whatsoever, just give me a bell. I'm sure we can get it sorted. So tight lines, guys. Speak soon. Bye.